Okay, so you want to become a personal trainer? Get certified, post some before and afters online, and start getting paid to do what you'd probably be doing at the gym anyway? Charge $75 an hour, train 6 clients a day, and you're clearing more than most office jobs? Except that you're wearing gym shorts instead of a tie? The fitness industry in the United States is worth well over $35 billion. Gyms are opening in every strip mall in the country, and everyone you know has said at some point that they need to get a trainer. So here's the question worth asking before you sign up for that certification course. If the demand is this obvious and the entry point is this cheap, why do most personal trainers quietly leave the profession within their first 2 years? The answer is that nobody actually pays for exercise knowledge. They're paying for something much harder to deliver consistently, a stranger's belief in them, on a schedule, for months at a time. Understand that, and every number in this business starts to make sense. Start with what it actually takes to call yourself a trainer. A basic certification from an organization like ACE runs $500 to $1,500, plus a renewal fee every 2 years to keep it active. Along with continuing education credits you have to keep earning just to stay certified at all. That's the cheap part. To actually get hired somewhere, most gyms want liability insurance, which runs another $150 to $300 a year, and CPR certification on top of that. Specialize further in something like corrective exercise, sports performance, or nutrition coaching, and each additional credential adds another few $100s and another few weekends of your own unpaid time. None of this guarantees you a single client. It just gets you in the door, and the door itself often takes weeks of unpaid trial shifts and shadowing other trainers before management even lets you touch a real client roster. And the door you walk through matters enormously, because almost no new trainer starts independent. Most begin employed by a commercial gym. And this is where the naive math falls apart immediately. You imagine charging $75 an hour and keeping $75 an hour. In reality, a gym-employed trainer commonly earns a base hourly wage of just $12 to $20 an hour for the time they're on the floor, plus a small commission, often 20% to 40% of whatever the gym actually bills the client for a session package. The client might be paying $80 a session. You might be seeing $20 to $30 of it. The gym keeps the rest to cover the building, the equipment, the marketing, and the fact that they're the ones who found you that client in the first place. So how does anyone make real money doing this? By understanding that the paycheck isn't in the hourly rate, it's in the client retention. A single training session is worth almost nothing on its own. A client who stays with you for 18 months, refers 2 friends, and buys every package renewal without hesitation, that client is worth thousands of dollars over time. Which means the actual skill this job demands isn't programming a perfect workout. It's building a relationship strong enough that a tired, busy person keeps showing up at 6 in the morning to see you specifically, month after month, even when their motivation runs out on its own. This is where the business gets brutal, because trainers are paid entirely on sessions delivered, not hours worked. If a client cancels, gets sick, goes on vacation, or simply loses motivation and ghosts you for 3 weeks, that time on your calendar earns nothing. There's no salary underneath you. A full calendar on Monday can turn into a half-empty calendar by Thursday for reasons entirely outside your control. Client attrition in this industry is severe. Independent research on gym-based training programs consistently shows a significant share of clients drop off within the first 3 to 6 months, long before they've generated meaningful lifetime value for the trainer who signed them, which means new trainers are constantly doing 2 jobs at once. Coaching the clients they have, while endlessly prospecting for the clients who'll replace the ones who inevitably churn. Most gyms expect trainers to spend unpaid hours on the floor doing free assessments and cold approaches, pitching potential clients between sets, essentially working as unpaid sales staff in exchange for the chance to eventually book paid sessions. That's real labor that never shows up on a pay stub. Now here's the case that should worry anyone assuming this job is just encouragement and exercise demonstrations. Personal trainers carry real liability. If a client is injured during a session, whether from an exercise prescribed incorrectly, inadequate supervision, or a pre-existing condition the trainer should have screened for, the trainer and often the gym can be sued directly. Liability insurance exists precisely because this happens regularly enough to be a standard cost of doing business, not a rare edge case. A torn muscle, a cardiac event during an intense session with an unscreened client, a slipped disc from a heavy lift pushed too far, any of these can turn into a legal claim that names the trainer personally, not just the gym. A single serious injury claim, especially one involving inadequate client health screening or documentation, can end a trainer's independent business before it ever really started, and can make them essentially unemployable at gyms that check insurance and claims history before hiring. This is part of why so many trainers who start out working with friends and family informally, off the books, with no waivers and no screening, eventually get burned the moment one of those informal clients gets hurt and the friendly arrangement turns into a legal one. So who actually gets rich in this business? Because some people clearly do. It's almost never the trainer who stays purely transactional, one client, 1 hour, one session at a time, for their entire career. The trainers earning real money have shifted the structure entirely. Some move to online coaching, where a single set of programming and check-in systems can serve 50 or 100 clients simultaneously, instead of 6 a day capped by physical hours. Some open their own small studios, hire other trainers underneath them, and shift from being the labor to owning the business the labor works inside of, collecting a percentage of every session their staff delivers, whether or not they personally set foot on the floor that day. Some build a content presence, social media following, a course, a certification of their own, and sell knowledge at scale instead of trading hours for dollars one client at a time, turning a single afternoon of filming into a product that sells while they sleep. In every version of the profitable path, the trainers stopped being paid for their own limited hours and started being paid for a system that could run without them standing in the room, which is the exact transition the gym-employed trainer working 6 sessions a day never gets the time or the capital to make. Run the numbers on 2 versions of this career. In the realistic scenario, a gym-employed trainer works full-time, actually delivers about 20 paid sessions a week after accounting for cancellations and no-shows, at an average payout of $25 per session after the gym's cut. That's $500 a week, roughly $26,000 a year, before taxes, before the cost of their own gym membership, continuing education, and the unpaid prospecting hours that got them those clients in the first place. In the strong scenario, a trainer 5 years in has left the commission structure behind, built a roster of 25 loyal private clients paying $90 a session directly, added 40 online coaching clients paying $150 a month each for programming and check-ins, and occasionally sells a group program to their audience. That combination can realistically clear $120,000 to $150,000 a year, with a large share of it now recurring and far less dependent on physically standing in a room for every dollar earned. The mistake almost everyone makes walking into this career is assuming the product is the workout. It isn't. The workout is the easy part, the part any certification course can teach in a few weekends. What actually separates the trainer barely surviving on gym commissions from the one running a real business is whether they figured out early that they weren't selling squats and deadlifts. They were selling their own presence in someone else's life, on a schedule, for as long as that person needed someone to believe in them, and the ones who found a way to sell that belief at scale are the only ones who ever stopped trading their own limited hours for someone else's cut.